Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, Text number 5. Tava sandarshanadeva Chinname sarva samshayah Yat swayam bhagavan pritya Dharmama harirakshisho. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for your Lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Manu described herewith the result of seeing a great saintly person. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and on first sight, he requested this humble self to preach his message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he desired it, and by his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. Thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoined in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to dissociate oneself from the common man, because by one word of a saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. Here Manu admits that all his doubts are now over, because Kardama has very kindly described the different duties of individual souls. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
Of seeing a great is a proper personal, this is no block personally. Manu is glorifying the words of Kardama Muni. He is glorifying the king, he is glorifying the power of association through the words of a Brahmana like Kardama Muni. And this is the natural relationship between a Kshatriya king and the Brahmana. The Brahmana is always ready to give advice as per his duty to the Kshatriya, to keep him aware of his responsibilities as a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to protect all the other three classes, And it is the Kshatriya's duty to give very special respect to Brahmana as a person from whom the Lord's mercy is received. Those Brahmanas who are situated in transcendental platform, they represent the vision, the will of the Lord with respect to mankind. And those things are, according to those advices, the kings rule the country or rule the planet. So here, Srila Prabhupada in the Bhaktivedanta purports, he explains the principle of association with great saintly persons. Even a moment of association, lava matra, even a moment of association, sadhu sangha. One can achieve all perfection by achieving his favor. This is a very important principle in the process of spiritual advancement for every devotee. Normally everything in this world is achieved. That's the paradigm of everyone, that I work hard and I have to achieve. I work hard and I have to be successful. So when we come to spiritual life also, naturally the tendency is to think that I work very hard for my sadhana, etc. and then result is guaranteed. In other words, it's like turning spiritual advancement to simply following some process. In the material world, it's like that. You go through a process, the result has to be there in the end. So we have to be very careful in our mind to change this paradigm. This paradigm has been ingrained into us through our education system. We are all victim of this. By default, our thinking is like this. It is only when you understand the principle of spiritual flow of mercy, how actually spiritual growth happens, not like how you learn in school. Spiritual growth happens by constant shower of mercy of the spiritual master, mercy of the deities, mercy of prasadam, mercy of great devotees like Tulsi Maharani, mercy of holy rivers, mercy of holy dham. What is this mercy? Mercy. Where? How does it? How does it impact me? How does it impact a sadhaka? Spiritual advancement means receiving key understandings through the descending process. At least we should, even if our mind is stuck in a process-oriented thinking, turn it into, it is a descending process. That today, if I have some advancement, it's not because I read Prabhupada's books alone, not because I thought a lot and I understood. It is because I read Prabhupada's books and Prabhupada gave his mercy. It is because I thought about all this and Krishna in the heart gave me the realization and understanding. So everything that we have today is a combination of whatever we desired, whatever is our attitude towards the desire, and what we have received from a transcendental source. All that we receive from a transcendental source, it is not temporary, it is permanent. It stays with us. In the material world, so many energies come and go. You say spiritual, if you do your PhD this life, next life that knowledge is gone. But if there is a mercy from the transcendental source of enlightenment, that will remain with the soul, even though it may get covered, but doesn't matter, it remains, it's an eternal asset for the soul. So our business in spiritual life will be successful if we constantly collect mercy. Of course, you cannot go on like plucking a flower, you cannot collect mercy. Mercy has to be begged. So the begging mode, anticipating mode is extremely important for a devotee. The devotee is constantly in the mood of begging and anticipating the mercy of the Lord in various forms. Just like we can say, okay, every day we are coming for sadhana. It is a process. 4:15 you have to be there, then Samsara Dava has to be sung, then Tulsi Maharani's song has to be sung, she has to be glorified, then you go Prabhupada Puja, etc., etc. All these processes you have to follow. So in the neophyte, a devotee thinks this is okay, I have to go for this, I have to go for this is a process. Even though externally every day it appears to be the same thing, 4:15 Mangalarti, 4:15 same song, every day same song, don't you get bored? 30, 40 years, same song, Samsara Dava, Samsara Dava, Samsara Dava, I don't get. The fact is that we don't get bored. Why? Every day the mercy coming out of the altar to each devotee is different. Externally it is same, internally it is different. What plays in the devotee's heart, his understanding, his realization, his situation for that day, his faith, his prayers, all are different. So we don't get bored. That is a variety. So every day is different. Every day Mangalarti is different. Every day Guru Puja is different. Every day Tulsi Arati is different. It is different. If you go into a ascending process paradigm, then you will feel, oh, what is this, the same thing, because you are only seeing that. You are not seeing the difference, you are not sensitive to what is not visibly seeable things that happen from the Lord's mercy. The glance of the Lord upon the devotees, the glance of the spiritual master upon the devotees who is worshipping him. Divya Gyan Hire Prakashita. So it's a transcendental process, it's a transcendental thing that is going on. So unless first of all one has knowledge that ultimately spiritual advancement of attachment to Krishna or detached from this material world, like a thunder, lightning, it will strike the heart and cut the knots of ahankara, cut the knots of attachment to this material world, and gift us the attachment to the transcendental world, to transcendental Lord. Gift us attachment to transcendental service versus fruitive activities in this material world. In a flash, that paradigm can be given by Srila Prabhupada in the heart. In a flash. In a flash, perpetual problems can get just cleared in 1 second in your mind, dissolved. In a flash, bad habits of life can get dissolved in 1 second by the mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna. Like Prabhupada said, I can kick out Maya in 1 second. So we should hold on to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, Beg for the mercy of the Lord. There is another kind of contamination. When there is a imbalanced effort on a devotee's part, jnanic part, you have to think. You have to cross sometime this thinking stage. Okay, sometime you have to think. We all thought about it and came to Krishna consciousness. Go on thinking everything. When we have to put effort to think, then that is speculation. Thinking is not wrong, but thinking will automatically come. Thoughts will automatically come. When you struggle to think, then it is jnana prayasa. Unnecessary endeavor. You have a philosophical question, you think too much, you cannot answer now. Jnana prayasa. Wait, get the adhikara, get the qualification. Adhikara for the soul means enough more service is to be done. You have to raise your spiritual platform. Then you will get the answer, then you will have qualification to understand the answer. It's not that for every question that you ask, you have to get an answer now. What is the use of you getting the answer if you cannot understand the answer? So the question has to be raised, no doubt. It's our nature to raise question. But then we have to understand that ultimately the adhikara, the qualification comes when the spiritual master is pleased, when Guru is pleased, Srila Prabhupada is pleased with the devotee who is sincerely trying to advance and who is trying to serve him, because ultimately essence of all jnana is what? Service to the Lord. Essence of all realization is what? Devotional service to the Lord. So when we get an opportunity to directly serve a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada, we are all greatly blessed, where we are able to accumulate what nobody can accumulate in millions and millions of births. Today we are able to understand Krishna consciousness, we are able to chant Hare Krishna, we are able to understand Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam, talk about Bhagavatam verses. All these things are only possible because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Now Srila Prabhupada is not an ordinary sadhu. Ordinary sadhu, person to person, you sit with him, he talks something, he can bring about transformation in. Srila Prabhupada is a sadhu. Here, see, very clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his disciples. He is very grateful for Kardama Muni explaining to him everything, for the words that came out of Kardama Muni. But today Srila Prabhupada's words, it is all Lord's Leela. These words of Srila Prabhupada are printed in this form. His words are captured in sound, in recorded sound. If one has faith in Srila Prabhupada, then one can continuously receive his mercy. You can receive his mercy. Transcendentally receive his mercy. Anybody can receive his mercy. That is why Prabhupada always stressed, distribute my books, distribute my books, distribute my books. The most important thing that Prabhupada considers as his contribution to the world are not the temples, but it is the books. Srila Prabhupada himself considered this to be most important contribution, which is coming from the spiritual world under the order of the Guru Parampara and Krishna, that he has contributed this to this world, is his books. His books means his words. How by Lord Krishna's arrangement, everything is recorded, every lecture he gave is recorded. Nowadays it's very common. In those days in 1965 and all, it's just come into player and record player and all just come into being. Even videos, audios and all, few black and white and all, it's just start. All those things are captured. Just imagine, we are able to carry in a small MP3 player, you are carrying 800 lectures of a pure devotee. Imagine if you hear 800 lectures nicely, what will happen to you? Nothing is happening to us because we don't hear. It is available. It is available. We don't hear. Now the problem is not availability of mercy. Nobody wants to collect. This is the problem. Normally availability of mercy is the problem. The recipient is qualified and then he begs. He does all his tapasya and then he begs for the kripa. Now the problem is not that way. Prabhupada so mercifully has given, Krishna has made this arrangement. Mercy is available for those who want to take it. So in that sense, we lack collecting capacity. We are not collecting enough. Today, mercy is available in Srila Prabhupada's books. His words are available. We only have to collect it. How much you can collect, how fast you can collect, we advance in spiritual life. We progress in spiritual life. So this is not an ordinary period of time in the history. It's a very special time in the history. As far as spiritual growth is concerned, all because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Hare Krishna movement, and his mercy distributed by Srila Prabhupada all over the world, all these things are very easily available to us. When something is easily available, we don't value it much. So we have to be very careful. We have to give great respect to the availability of this transcendental source on earth, take maximum benefit, to take this association from Srila Prabhupada. Sadhu Sangha, Prabhupada's Sangha is available, which is a fact. You don't have to see Prabhupada. If you read his life history, he will touch you. You can feel him. Therefore, devotees should all read Srila Prabhupada's Leelas. They should hear and they should read Srila Prabhupada's pastimes of how from 1965 he built up this movement till he left this planet, all the different activities that he did. When you read it, then you will be able to, you have to perceive a person means you have to perceive that person's desire, you have to perceive that person's aspirations, you should perceive that person's purity, you have to perceive that person's Ichha Shakti. Perceiving those things are perceiving the person. A devotee asked me, how to be conscious of Prabhupada? It's not simply his form. You get stuck there. The person can be perceived by his interest. The person can be perceived by his determination. By his personal qualities you can perceive a person. You can pinpoint very uniquely who was Prabhupada by his determination to go to America and preach, by his desire to please his spiritual master, by his aspiration to spread Lord Chaitanya's movement to everywhere, irrespective of any country. His confidence and trust that the holy name is powerful enough to change everyone. These are all the things that one can perceive in Srila Prabhupada's heart. Once you perceive that, you go on perceiving that, if you perceive these things in Srila Prabhupada, then those qualities will come into our heart also. Our determination to progress, our faith in the holy name, our aspiration to preach Krishna consciousness unrestrictedly in this world, to bring down the mission more and more into this material world, all these aspirations also will come to us by meditating on Prabhupada and his qualities. Any questions? Yes. Here.
Generally, sadhana we attend like a process. Will it be okay, Prabhu, or anything consciously we have to make some effort?
It's a process. As you understand what process means to you. If it is a two-way process, if you think it is a two-way process, that means you are doing something and Prabhupada is also doing something to you. You are doing something and Prabhupada and Krishna is doing something to you. If this perception is there, then thinking of this as a process is fine. But normally in this material world, process generally means it's you put your effort only and the result has to be there. Or even your effort, somebody, all other people's effort, and it's all visible, grossly visible efforts. In the material world also, process sometimes means this way and that way, people, all those things, combination of, just like a factory produces something, they say it was a process of teamwork, they will say. But here, it's not visible like that. It's a transcendental process. That means your effort you can see grossly. But the other effort, that other mercy that comes from Prabhupada and Krishna and Lord in the heart, these things cannot be seen. If you are Shraddha, you can capture it. You know this is coming from, you feel that it is mercy. So think of the process as a transcendental process of effort and mercy. Shrama, chesta from our side, kripa from the Lord. Kripa from transcendence, effort from our side. So, it is, God helps those who help themselves. Mayavadi, a contrast is Mayavadis. Mayavadis say there is nothing like kripa. First of all, there is nothing like God, so where is kripa? It's all like you have to jnanically come out of it, this entanglement. That is the reason why Mayavadis say that if you are, say you should accept a guru, they say, to neophytes. And then they say that if you don't advance enough to one day give up the need for a guru, then you are not advancing. So this is, you take a guru, I mean in a derogatory way if you put it, in a personal way if you take it, you accept a guru so that one day you can stamp him out. You advance, then you climb above his shoulders and then here I am, advanced. So we understand it's an eternal process. I'm eternally dependent upon my guru. I go to the spiritual world also, I depend upon my guru. Here he will teach me how to be liberated from material energy, how to purify. There he will teach me how to adopt the right kind of mood to serve the Supreme Lord. Nobody can go and directly serve the Supreme Lord. You need there is transcendental intelligence in the spiritual world. So there are masters in the spiritual world who knows how actually to please Krishna. You cannot just go and please Krishna the way you want. So my guru is eternal guru. He is my guru in my spiritual world also. That is the reason why we make a big issue about the guru issue. It is not a joke. When you surrender to a spiritual master, it's not a joke. That surrender that being talked about. Yasya deva parabhakti etateo tata guru. The same faith that you have in Krishna has to be in the Guru. Means what? Unless one is authorized by the predecessor spiritual master, one cannot become Guru. That is why Prabhupada did not authorize anybody. Because it will amount to cheating. Because this principle says that this is what a Guru should be. He should be in the category of Narada Muni. He should be one who is embraced by Lord Krishna. Anybody can be a teacher, anybody can voice Prabhupada's teaching, just like we are speaking now Bhagavatam. These are all gurus who can assist the main Guru. Now I am talking on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. Tomorrow I will sit there, you will talk on behalf of Prabhupada. It's just a Shravanam Kirtanam process. So that is the perception we have. Janme Janme Prabhu Sei. We even grossly we sing Janme Janme Prabhu Sei. I mean, imagine if some Guru falls down, you do Guru Puja every day, Janme Janme Prabhu Sei. That means all along till now, whatever prayer you made is a joke. That means, why it is a joke is because in a path to transcendental achievement, no portion of it can be, no portion of that process can be based on falsity. This was very nicely explained once by Pejava Swami. He said, this process is to achieve the absolute truth. The path cannot be a path where there is falsity. That means it's not the path. The path also has to be absolute truth. So faith in the spiritual master has to be absolute. If it has to be absolute, then the person whom you are putting that faith has to be absolute. There is a science behind all these things, not simply, anybody, a few friends, few God brothers say, now, Prabhu, so many years now you're devotee, why don't you do some service to Srila Prabhupada of accepting some disciples? Okay, I don't want to be Guru, I don't want to be personally Guru, but all my God brothers are pushing me, so I'll take up this service. This is an explanation by many are giving. I mean, you may intend well also, we don't mind. We give benefit for good intention also. Yes, I want to serve Prabhupada like this. But then they're short-circuiting a faithful process. According to our Siddhanta, a person accepts a spiritual master, personal spiritual master, he has to, surrender his soul to him. Is a person capable of taking that surrender? Is a person capable of transparently passing on to Krishna? And these two processes of capability cannot be self-certified. Can never be self-certified. You cannot suddenly feel convinced that I can do it. Prabhupada is saying, I was authorized. For first sight, he requested this humble self to preach the message in the Western countries. There is no preparation for this, but somehow or the other, he desired it. Look at this. And by his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order. By his grace. Which has given us a transcendental occupation. And has saved and liberated us. Prabhupada is saying, by giving this service to me, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has saved me. Thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's mission becomes complete. So many devotees are, if they are sincere seekers, they come in touch with Prabhupada properly. into Bhaktivedanta purports improperly, he will touch Prabhupada. His life will change.
Thank you so much for the explanation, and actually you touched some very essential points throughout the dissertation, but the essential one was that everything is based on sound vibration, because it's the beginning of devotional service, Shravanam. Beginning means the end. In devotional service there is not diversity. If one encouraged in performing only one service, Ambarish Maharaj is the example, he can achieve full the complete process.
Beyond time.
Yes, because a particle of the infinite carries the infinite. In this infinite, it means devotional service is supreme, and this is what Prabhupada, as you clearly also exposed, is doing, bringing the process in a practical and very easy, accessible way, depending on one's consciousness. This Vyavasa Yadmika Buddhir. Regardless of how you explain the amount of knowledge, scriptural knowledge, literal knowledge in that sense, literally. A person can become a scholar, but the Bhakta is above that because the process of revelation by the Lord, Jasyadeve Parabhakti Tasyadeve. And then I want to share with you one amazing history. Just a few days ago, before coming, Gargamuni Prabhu told me, and has a relationship with this that you very expertly exposed. When Prabhupada was in that period of history, nowhere digital development was around. But somehow this proves the pure devotee in the category of Trikalagya. Every one of us is somehow Trikalagya in many aspects. The father knows what the child is doing and, seeing what he's gonna do next. He is the father spiritually, and means that he spiritually is not like Krishna, but is godlike. So he is informed by Krishna about the category of a devotee and engaged in different devotees in different capacities. But the point is that Prabhupada was actually typing, and the typewriter was stolen. So Gargamuni Prabhu was very concerned because he had so much love for Prabhupada, how he will continue his service. So he was working at that time and bringing his salary to Srila Prabhupada as well as Brahmananda. But in this case, one day they were thinking how to get the typewriter, a new one, more dynamic and this and that. He passed close by the storefront where Prabhupada was staying. There was a shop, and somehow he looked through the window, through the
shop window.
Yes, and then he saw advertising. This was a house where many electronic things, he never was interested. But this day he looks and he sees this with an advertisement, this typewriter, yes, a dictaphone machine. And he kept looking close by, and he had heard about that. He immediately went inside, and he started looking and talking to the person, and he was impressed that the amount that he had just received for his monthly salary will cover the buying of the dictaphone. In his mind only was the happiness that say this will accelerate. We can extend, I extend in that it was Krishna's arrangement that the thief came and took the typewriter. Because this is new step, it was substantial in proper production of his book.
Now saying don't type anymore, dictate.
So, but the thing is that Gargamuni learned, all the buttons that you had to press, stop, go forward, go back, this and that, and he was completely enthusiastic. He didn't hesitate 1 minute. He took the dictaphone and went. I said, Prabhupada, you have to see this. What is that? They went to the office, on top of his rooms actually, and they sat in Prabhupada's small desk, and Gargamuni started, and this is like this, and this is like that. Prabhupada, you see this explaining the technicalities and how the material work, recording on these tapes. Prabhupada was looking like this and smiling, right? When he could get close and said, you see, press here and stop and press here. And Prabhupada is, yes, I know. And then Gargamuni looks back, and he was smiling in such a pleasant way. And he say, oh, yes. And then afterward, Prabhupada pick up that and start to recording and test it. And Gargamuni was looking and he was completely flabbergasted about how he's doing it, what the guy in the storefront, and he, 20-year-old kid or less than that, he took some minutes. Prabhupada already knew. He told him, I know. And he was doing, of course, he had seen for seconds, he was doing and recording and going back and playing his own thing, So, and furthermore, while you were talking about the importance of book distribution, the temples are essential also, but in priority we know the book distribution is the essence because it's a sound vibration. Then I thought that in the future also we will start distributing the CDs of Prabhupada in the same category because everyone now is into this, MP3s or this and that. And Prabhupada had made the arrangements through these two devotees, which I always, although I have some differences because that's why it's individuality, but always I praise their service to Srila Prabhupada because they introduced all this new editing of the lectures of Prabhupada, putting the letters on the translation also, because sometimes the accent of Prabhupada, and now it's going on in different languages in the world, the same process, the same mechanics, Prabhupada's lecture, Prabhupada giving and people listening. It's so hard in Kali Yuga, people reading books and sitting and this and that, fall asleep, and they have devised so many other techniques, putting not only one, when Prabhupada, there is no video of Prabhupada speaking, but there is only the song, so they put the pictures and whatever is referring in the tape, also some reference, pictorial reference to keep, and eventually some background of some other music. Anyway, always I am appreciating this amazing service of Prabhupada.
Technology is really something which is very much part of the spiritual movement. Prabhupada's and Gaudiya Vaishnava movement. Now, technology is very much part of it. Because ultimately it's all Krishna's. And Sankirtana means coming together. Coming together means communication. Communication means internet. So these are all, Krishna is making the jivas discover all these things. So that the Sankirtana movement, the prediction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come true. That the whole world will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.